Good evening, I'm Adventure Argonaut. This is Hyaku Monogatari, Honto ni Atta Kowai Hanashi, a Japanese visual novel with the emphasis on the novel and de-emphasis on the visual. um, so yeah, there's 100 candles and each candle represents a scary story, supposedly a true story. We've gotten just past the halfway point, yes, in yesterday's stream. So let's see how far we will reach today. Okay, and the streams all seem eerily functional. Is that a bad omen that the streams work without any problems? Okay, let's start playing around, reading stories and all that. Uh, Something cursed, something night of curse. Okay. It's Gunma Prefecture, Sachiko Takeoka. Takeoka Sachiko is the protagonist. Gunma Prefecture. I think that's at least a prefecture of the same name is in Initial D, the racing anime. So if that's the case, I'm gonna expect mountains. Yes, I think that it had mountains in the anime, if I recall correctly. Yeah, and cars. Okay, so that was after I had just gotten my driver's license. Yeah, so is this gonna be? I don't remember what the protagonist's name is in Initial D though. But anyways, I think I was around 19 years old. And end of August, it was still humid, and so so I guess it happened during a humid night at the end of August. Whatever creepy stuff happened. So I was sleeping with a window open or in front of an open window, and then somebody like started rubbing my leg. I'm not sure if it's rubbing or stepping on it or what, but it's somebody did something to his leg. Then I then started touching the top. Does it mean like touching her, upper part of her thighs or something? Quite sure. Um, I was sure I thought my mom had come to visit me. I guess I opened my eyes and tried to sit up, and then I was paralyzed. So more sleep paralysis, of course. And and then my my whole body began to go numb gradually. And to me, that was my first such experience. Okay, so somebody's saying in ghastly way, mom and dad. Oto-san, Oka-san. Uh, so I frantically called out to my parents, and they were sleeping in the next room. What's wrong, Shoko? Is that the name? Yes. My father came when he heard me. After the moment, my body suddenly became lighter and the sleep paralysis had lifted. My father didn't know what had happened to me. I couldn't understand it at all. Um, I was in no condition to tell my mother I had been paralyzed, sleep paralyzed. And that night, I was scared that I slept in my parents' room with them. So by doing that, like like I don't know, so I wanted to think it was a coincidence or something. From that day onwards, I began to suffer from sleep paralysis frequently. Like, there's so many instances of sleep paralysis in this game that, either the people writing these stories have no imagination, or if they truly are based on true stories, then, sleep paralysis is clearly some stuff that should be studied more and understood. Like, is it truly, demonic influence, or is it some psychological condition or neurological, or what exactly? Or I don't know, something to do with time travelers screwing with the timeline. Anyways, when you're um, so I guess after the paralysis happened, then go to dad, and I was shaking and pleading to him. So I'd been that like that for 2 weeks, or it had continued like that for 2 weeks. Um, so father was so upset by my complaints or my, I don't know, stories, reports. Uh, he finally said he would go check out what was wrong with the room. Actually, my father had always psychic powers, so he was used to this sort of crap. Okay, if he had psychic powers, why didn't he do something beforehand? Anyways, so that night the dad slept in her room, and I was worried about my. Uh, even though I was worried about my father, I breathed a sigh of relief that I could sleep with my mom. Also felt a sense of security knowing that it'd be okay with my dad being there. And then the dad gets snuggled by a ghost. And when my father came into my room after about 30 minutes, uh, I heard my father groan. Then, for about 5 minutes, my father was upset about something. And me and my mom were worried. Should we wake him up? We were trying to decide what to do. Like, it's a difficult decision. Dad, my father's face was completely pale, with a greasy sweat running down his face. Trudged towards the altar. What? I guess it's some Buddhist altar. Yeah, I think that's what it means. Like in their house. Dad. Oh, that's not good. It's unbearable. Minimo irare yashinayo. By the way, or anyway, let's light some incense. So in front of the shrine, the Buddhist shrine or altar, whatever you want to call it. So the father prayed in front of the Buddhist altar and I guess recited a sutra. Um, so it seemed he learned the seriousness of the situation firsthand. I was a bit relieved. Oh no, it's a red car. From then on, both my mom and I, or no, mom and dad and I, so all of them, they started listening seriously, or maybe asking, because listen and ask are the same word in Japanese. So I guess they started asking what was wrong, what was the cause in the first place. They needed to know. So their family searched for clues, and as a result, they concluded that the cause was the car they had bought at the time. It was like outside. Wait, is this Christine? The killer car again? Then they would focus on like areas of concern, like they checked out areas of concern, but in the end, they didn't really understand anything. As usual, the sleep paralysis wouldn't go away. But was it just that one room, or if they all sleep together in the parents' room, is it fine? Okay, anyways, finally, my father, uh, so the Miyashiro's grandmother is also a psychic and living nearby. So they went to take a look at her. I'm not sure what is a Miyashiro. Like, is it just the grandma's name? I guess. And on that day, mom and I were at work. My father was the only one there. Uh, so I heard this from him because the cause was not the car. Apparently, this was a will of a spirit that could not rest in peace. The true identity of the spirit was the maternal grandfather. So the grandfather, he had passed away 1 year ago. According to the medium, the grandfather was unable to attain nirvana because he was suffering too much to be with my grandfather who had passed away earlier. So dad and me, um, he was like, I guess, wanted help from, I was looking for help from dad, I guess. And then until you can attain Buddhahood, offer water and incense every day without fail. Uh, I'm not sure. Are they supposed to offer the food and incense to the grandfather? I guess. Then you won't have to do anything else. And it was like a promise to the father. So is it the grandfather telling them what to do, like his spirit? So, so the mom, when the mom heard it, she rolled her eyes, or no, her eyes sort of uh, enlarged in surprise. Usually, in such cases, relatives and children have some connection to it or something. However, like for the mom, there was nothing like that. Wait. So, no, it's usually in such cases, relatives or children of the deceased are have to, are they given the gift or they have to give the gift. But the mom, I'm not sure. Anyways, have to give gifts to the dead, I guess. So the dad said that the mother was quite insensitive to spirits and she just couldn't perceive them. Anyway, that was all and it should have been solved. But I guess there's however. So that's summer of 1985. Because it's like that because how is that 60? How is 1985? At least according to my translations of that's the year, but it's the wait, is it Showa? 60th year of the. But anyways, that's some of those um, dates because they they have the different name for the period of each, for each empire emperor they have and stuff in Japan. So I guess it was in the 80s, anyways. This day was another difficult night to sleep, or this night was another difficult night to sleep. At the same time, the room had just been redecorated. There was a large window next to the bed with pure white curtains. So I was in the sleeping in the on the bed and sleeping, or I guess in the corner of the bed. Then I turned over in my sleep and suddenly opened my eyes. Whee! At that moment, a young man came flying in through the curtain like a gust of wind. And at the same time, I was paralyzed. I couldn't see it very well. Like the face became like a shadow, and I couldn't really understand it or see it. I think it was wearing a green and black or red t-shirt, like I guess a green t-shirt with black or red stripes. Um, so after that, the strange incidents continued, and the sleep paralysis occurred about every other day. I asked my dad for help, but uh, the old lady was still active. So I guess that the psychic old lady. So maybe they means they're gonna ask her. So yeah, no, I guess it means the opposite. That the old lady had retired and was very tired and would not come to help them anymore. Well, I guess instead or something, they even when I went to the temple when my grandfather rests, I was told to go to a psychiatric hospital, so there was no way to get any help. Yeah, modern science. That's lame. So we had no choice but to endure the pain. And even now that I'm married, the situation hasn't changed. That's depressing. Uh, Nowadays, even with my eyes closed, the image of the spirit comes into my mind clearly. Ugh. Okay, that was creepy. My psychic father is calling me. Is it some strange evil spirit? Or I was like, is the psychic dad calling the spirit an evil spirit? Or, anyways. Ah, My father passed away recently, and also the number of instances of sleep paralysis has decreased, but still far from a normal life. Do I have to continue to suffer through all this? But, or if not, then what on earth is causing this to continue every day? I think the old grandma who said that it was the grandfather spirit, like she was, maybe she was only half right, or she was just making it up or something. And maybe that was their biggest mistake to trust her. So, see, someone please tell me. Please. Yeah, it's quite. These stories are getting more and more depressing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but they are getting a bit more depressing. Let's get another depressing story on the way. So, Call of the Dead. It's not Call of Cthulhu, and it's Yamanashi Prefecture. So it's Kawasumi and her child, the storytellers here, narrators. Alrighty. I started. It started in elementary school. For the first time in my life, I experienced a strange occurrence. On that day, my family took me to visit the graves. The grave is in my mother's countryside. It stands in the corner of a small temple. So I guess yeah, I guess that like the countryside where the mom is from. Apparently, it's my second time coming here. The first time was when I was a baby, so I don't remember it very well. And as I got closer to the grave, I somehow didn't feel like I was here for the first time. Drawn to the graveyard, and I walked along the gravel road. So it's my great grandmother's grave, not great, just great grandmother's. He Obachan. Okay, I didn't know it. That's great grandmother. Anyways, the family has finished cleaning it, and we take turns spraying and offering flowers and incense that we bought in front of the station. And I also offered some incense. At that time, suddenly white light appeared in front of me and everything was painted white. It's not painted black. It's painted white. After a while, I heard a familiar voice calling out to me from the endless white darkness. Mm, so I didn't know whose voice it was, but but despite that, I didn't really like feel any wonder or like strangeness or fear. On the contrary, it sounded like a very gentle voice. Then, as if guided by that voice, I was enveloped in a white darkness and lost consciousness. The grave of graves. My body was being shaken and I woke up. My mother was worried about me when I suddenly collapsed and shook me awake. I found out later that from my mother, when I was in the white darkness, that something incredibly, I done something very bizarre during that night, that time, and like surprised my mom. So yeah, like done something unbelievable to surprise her or something. So as I stood in front of the grave to offer incense, I suddenly began to cry, as if guided by something behind. So I walked behind the grave. Then, for some reason, out of all the flowers, she started picking only violets from all the flowers blooming there. So I heard about it later. My great grandmother had, she loved violets. And that's my, so the voice, was it my great grandmother's voice? Uh, or did my ancestors call? Yeah, yeah, my ancestors, Fatagan. I really don't know. I still believe it was my great grandmother's voice. Okay, interesting. This wasn't so depressing or scary or anything, but it's this nice contrast. If you hear sleepy banging, it's just my wife in the kitchen abusing some apples or whatever she's eating. So don't be alarmed. And this, so it's from Hokkaido, SNN Sun. What's the monster at the railroad crossing? Aha, monster. So my dad worked at a funeral home. and maybe that's why my father retired last year. So uh, every day until July, uh, like I was plagued by spiritual phenomena such as, or maybe the dad, I'm not sure which one, I was plagued by spiritual phenomena such as strange footsteps and rapping sounds almost every day. Yeah, I think it's the dad who was plagued by the stuff. And before I knew it, I had, or the whoever they're talking about was accustomed to the spiritual manifestation. Yeah, because in Japanese it's not always clear, like who is. Is it? Well, anyways, even to me, it's very scary. So it was the summer of my third year of high school, and the school festival, the second day of school festival, getting ready for the QSI after party. No, it's Ko-asai. Koyasai after party. Don't know what that is. At the Anyway, at the community center school grounds. So when they were doing that stuff, I guess it happened. Something freaky. That day on the way home after work, it was around 9 p.m. when I arrived. So leaving the community center, my friend and I rode bikes, and maybe they rode the bikes for like 5 minutes, and suddenly realized that he had forgotten something. So the place where he parked the bike, the railroad crossing where the H train passes. So it was just after they had passed the river. I don't know what is H train. So so they forgot some folk dance cassette for like the next day's rehearsal. Oh yeah, because it was the school festival, of course. So have to dub it tonight, but I guess they can't do it if they forgot it. So because of that, their friends are more worried than me. Yeah, they returned to the community center after crossing the railroad tracks. Or like the I, and yeah, so it was just like I think the community center was next to the railroad tracks or something. So at that time, it happened. Oh no, it's Doom Train from Final Fantasy VI. From the other side of the tracks, I heard footsteps. Someone was walking this way. Walk this way. A girl in sailor uniform. I like where this is heading. At a time like this, walking on railroad tracks, this is not something you would normally think of. But it was definitely coming. Or she. But that sounds no. Anyways, so for some reason, uh, I stopped on the tracks waiting for the girl to come. But after a few seconds, I realized I wasn't just waiting; I was stuck. So it's not sleep paralysis; it's just I don't know, creep paralysis. What? No head? Hmm. Yeah, she didn't have a head. So the girl was a headless ghost. I guess she was the kind of girl who liked to give head. It was as if I was paralyzed and couldn't move. But the spirit was getting closer and closer. And the moment the spirit came before me, I yelled and crouched down. Miraculously, my body started to move, or strangely, maybe. Uh, what happened? It's dangerous to sit there. Bong, bong. What are you doing? Train's coming. Hurry, hurry. My friend's words brought me back to reality. I calmed down and looked around. There were no headless girls. All I could see in front of me were the train tracks with the lights of a train shining in the distance. And my friend was at the crossing. They were worried about me because I couldn't move. So the ghost of the girl, like, I guess only I could see the girl, I guess. I was confused as to why, like, there wasn't, I couldn't understand why. In any case, like, if the friends weren't there, maybe I would have been run over by the train. I still remember the girl I saw back then. I remember her appearance clearly, especially the severed neck part. So cruel I can't describe it. Just remembering it makes me shudder. Shadow walk. Um, what on earth happened? Like, what does it mean? So, could it have something to do with my father? Just thinking, like, what the father, he, or to me, but because the other father retired with his job, something because of something at the beginning, but no. So, somebody please tell me what the fuck is going on, man. So wait, that doesn't mean the dad had killed the girl or something, and the girl's like, "Hey, your dad was he's a killer." But maybe it was self-defense. You never know. All right, let's get another weird story. But these stories are getting a bit weirder, I think. And it's the School of Seven Mysteries stuff. Last time it was toilet, I think. So let's see what places. There's a music room. It's like a chapel or something. Church hall. Whatever. I think it's chapel. Miss Chapel. Stairs. Hallway. Okay, let's get rid of the music room. I think it's been there since the beginning. So, music room. Most of the scary rumors there are related to the sound of the piano. Play a song for the piano man. Do-do-do. At an elementary school in Gunma Prefecture, the sound of a piano was heard coming from an empty music room. Very classic, or I guess you could say cliche at this point. But maybe it wasn't so cliche like 30 years ago when this game was made. It said that if you sneak a peek inside, you can see a severed bloody wrist hitting the keys. Also, at the junior high school in Iwate Prefecture, blood was dripping from the ceiling. In some cases, the piano sounds like a chorus of notes as the keys are struck. Other than that, if the teacher makes a single mistake on the piano during class, uh, a portrait of Beethoven begins glaring at the teacher. I also heard about the portraits. I guess heard this story about Beethoven's portrait, I guess. Like these various rumors are being whispered in various places. Apparently, there are such rumors like that in the music room of this school as well. Let's go have a look. Oh, it was ringing until just now. Can't hear the piano, or I guess playing for just now. What you hear is a metronome. All I can hear is the metronome. How strange. How queer, as they used to say in Britain. Now they say ahlam ahlah. Anyways, what would you do? Ah, okay. Can I now? I can move. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's see the options. Stare at the portrait. Stop the metronome. Listen carefully. Let's listen. Boom. Yee. What? So, cry, sad cry, or scream? Okay, I guess that makes sense. The kanji, I mean, there shouldn't be anybody here, but indeed, I heard it. So it seems that the piano sound from earlier wasn't just my imagination. Could it be that maybe I disturbed something or someone I can't see? Or I was interrupting somebody's performance that I couldn't see? Maybe I should just leave them alone? Blah, 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 blah. Alright, that was a short one. Sometimes it's nice to have short ones. Contents of the coffin is from Osaka Prefecture and anonymous. So what was in the coffin? A pile of shit and a hamster. A spirit attached to a certain land. Like a spirit that's attached to a certain land is called an earthbound spirit or mother, if you translate it. Earthbound spirits have a strong desire to stay in place. It is said that uh, so like I guess earthbound spirits that are left behind, they have a strong grudge against the land to stay behind, something like that. A woman living in Osaka who wishes to remain anonymous had a strange experience while she was living in a dormitory as a student. Soon as she entered the dormitory, it started. And that day, she suddenly woke up and around 4 a.m. found herself standing in front of the bathroom. But she wanted to go to the bathroom. But she didn't stand there. What? Like she wanted to come, but she wasn't standing there. I don't quite understand what it means. Let's see. So it was a strange sensation as if like she was, it's like somebody was guiding her against her will, like it was brought her there. Okay, I guess so. She was standing in front of the toilet against her own will. So I wonder why. So maybe I was half asleep, sleepwalking. So that's what she thought, and went back to her room and sleep. After a moment, she nearly screamed. I guess she heard a groan, and or she let out a scream because she heard a groan, something like that. Her body was drenched in sweat as if she had been doused in water. Both her shoulders were pressed down by something and felt heavy, and she couldn't move. And the weight just kept increasing. So my shoulders are heavy, can't move. She spoke out loud and she couldn't open her eyes. So a small sleep paralysis, yet strangely inside the room, she understood the scene as it were in front of her eyes. I guess even though her eyes were closed. The one holding my shoulder, the body was burnt black like charcoal, and his eyes were glaring. He was a man of terrifying appearance. あの時私はまだ生きていた。しながら火葬された。熱い。熱い。 Yeah, don't know what he said. So burning, suddenly the man's spirit burst into flames. Okay, and then she, in her eyes, the image of a man was suffering and unaware of it. People in mourning clothes with their hands together, like she could see people in mourning clothes with their hands together in prayer. No, I don't want to die. Help me, please. But, but you're already dead. Omae wa mou shinderu. Nani? So she cried out loud. Lol. It's not call, not lol. She couldn't even open her eyes, let alone and despite the condition, she was screaming. It was a cry from her heart or her mind. The man's voice gradually became quieter, and the voices disappeared. Her heavy body became lighter, and the horrifying cursed sight disappeared. Then suddenly she woke up. Uh, what was that? Who was that guy? In the room already, there was no spiritual atmosphere. After that, she left the dormitory and had been living a peaceful life without any particular changes. However, in that dormitory, there was lots of similar things happening. Even today, people who live in the dormitory are still gossiping that um, there is some connection to the fact that the dormitory was built on the site of an old hospital. Hey, it wasn't an Indian burial ground or anything like that. So maybe it's an improvement. And you might be wondering, well, like, why would there be an Indian burial ground in Japan? But you know, for story purposes, it could be there. And you can wonder whether they're, Indians from India or, Native American Indians. I guess both suffice. So from Tokyo, EF Sun is performance of the dead. Dead can dance. So I was sixth year in elementary school, and this shit happened. I've had only one strange experience. I left my flute in the music room, and it happened when I went to pick it up at lunchtime. The special building that houses the science lab, etc., like unlike other school buildings, it felt somehow scary. And the hallway I walked through didn't feel the same either. As I was walking past the science lab, I heard the voices of Of Yucatan, the friends in school. Yeah, yeah, I was like, what's Yucatan? It doesn't make sense. Okay, so I was walking past because my translations of sometimes says nonsense. I was like, yeah, anyways. So I was walking past the science lab. I heard voices of my friends playing in the schoolyard through the window. Okay, that seems reasonable. Even though the sound is actual was coming from nearby, it felt like it was far away from another dimension that is called hell. Anyway, I headed to the music room, suppressing my desire to play outside. And when I got to the door, suddenly a piano started playing. I heard it. It's just like the other music room stuff I just had, the other story. I think the teacher was playing. Uh, I opened the door and went inside. Excuse me, I forgot my whistle, so it's here. But there was nobody in the classroom. The performance of the piano. Started. I guess it had stopped. Uh, Also, there was no sign of anyone here until now, and the piano lid was closed. In the soundproof music room, you couldn't hear any noise from outside. I guess it means that so they couldn't have heard him go in, but it was completely quiet and still. I thought I was just imagining things. I went to the place where I was sitting. I'm just imagining it, just imagining it. Even as I was thinking that my heart was beating abnormally hard. Here it is. The whistle or the flute or whatever I was looking for. I took the whistle or flute. I think it's flute probably. Uh, anyway, it was in the desk. I took it, looked around for a while. I found myself thinking about things I didn't need to think about. So the piano. Okay, well, what if the piano rang or played or whatever the sound the verb is? Soft piano notes echoed throughout the classroom. I heard the sound I'd been listening for a while, or I heard for a while, anyways. But I felt like the sound would continue forever if I left it alone. I was starting to get scared. Gradually, the fear turned into pain. What? Yeah, so it turned to pain, and I felt like I would go crazy if I stayed here forever. Well, I guess if you stay forever in any single room, you're gonna go crazy. So yeah, it was driving me crazy. I instinctively ran towards the exit. Oh, or my my feet, like my feet suddenly stopped at the exit to the of the music room. Like no matter how much force I put in my legs, my body wouldn't move. I grabbed the edge of the classroom door and I tried to push off with my feet, but instead it just pulled me backwards. And outside the classroom, right, it was yes. So the outside of the classroom just was just right in front of my eyes. Why? Oh no! Why? It's dumb, eh? Like I can't do it. So I cried out. Suddenly, my feet left the floor and I collapsed outside the classroom. What was going on? What the hell? As I endured the pain in my body, I tried to process in my mind what had just happened. Then, calming down, I left the music room. And if you looked at it, before I knew it, the sound of the piano had disappeared. So the room was as it always was. Was it how it was before? Um, Maybe it was just my imagination, but when I looked at my feet, um, I had a black bruise on my ankle and looked like a handprint, like a clearly marked handprint on the bruise. Ooh, okay. At that time, um, definitely somebody was playing the piano and grabbing my leg. It's like, please listen to my crappy music. Please be my friend. But yeah, I don't know who it was grabbing the leg. So yeah, school is scary. I guess that's right, but maybe for different reasons for most people. You don't usually go alone either, so please be careful in the classroom. You space out, your ankle will hurt, and somebody might catch you. Another candle blown out. Correction, sucked out. Thank you, data. Alrighty. Almost, almost at 60 candles. At 60 candles down almost. Oh no. So it's a special story. It's gonna be just a guy talking, and it's very difficult to understand. Like no text or anything. So at least let's check that. This disappeared Lang Branco. What's that? Missing swing. Uh-huh. Okay.
大阪で番組でもってドラマを作ってくれ頼まれましてね、長きにも監督を置かれてると知ったんですよ。そしたら山の中のですね、まあ昔は分校だったんでしょうかね、小さい建物があるんですよ。でもこれは秋には壊しちゃうんで、午前にどうぞって言うんですよね。それで私、役場の人にこの鍵開けてもらって入ったんですよ。中真っ暗ですよ。教室は3つぐらいあるのかな。その中を誰をどうセットするかとか、とことことこと歩いていく。で、一番奥に、その教室の中にはね、このかなりの年齢の人が立ってますから、あ、どうも、すいません、お世話になりました。 たがらず道が一本行くと、AD 関係の人の合宿するような部屋が一個あって、そこまで行ってから入ったと思ってましたね。あれ、いつ来たんだろうと思ってましたよ。真っ暗でしょ。私が来た時だったんですよね。私はよく勉強してますよね。それで行ってみたら来年ですよ。確かに冬ですよね。で、メイクさんと美術さんが言ってたから、ちょっと来てよ。何時だからちょっと来てよ。って言って、二人が連れてって、ねえ、どんな感じですよ。冷たいって言ってたんですよ。で、出てきたらみんなが搬入してるわけですよね。で、開いてみたら、そのさっきの位置が入って残してないから、影がピューッとしてる。誰かいたんだなと思ってね。で、そこからなんかずっとやってまして、まあ、途中でもって女優さんが来て帰り、俳優さんが来て帰りするわけですけど、途中で決算をするわけですよ。ただそのプロデューサーが、皆さんおかしいんだと。この
Clearly, school
我々が
theme
書いた
again.
ペンに、ちゃんと弟が何年か相当あるんですが、車で送れないのにタクシーと提携して割安で送ってもらったわけですよね。で、どういうことって言ったら、いやいや、タクシー会社に連絡取ったと。それ確かに送ってくれるって言って、でもこの人たちは夜中だったんだけど、そろそろ帰ってこない。ロケのシャッターバーの次の朝帰ってくるんだよって言うんですよ。タクシー会社の方が連絡取りましたから、いや、確かに今言ってます。運転手の人が変わります。運転手さんも、いやいや、女優さんに聞いたんだけど、車で待ってたら男の人が来て乗っけちゃった。何なのって言って、ありがとうございましたって言ったら、いないんだよ。いや、随分降りるの早いんだなと思ったけど、普通だったら車の前方方向を歩いていかないといけないのに、買い物でも行ったのかなと思って俺帰っちゃったって言うんですよね。そんなバカなね。体にバカもいないんだから多分そうかね。言ってたんですね。まあ、それを知ったら、そのロケがどうにか終わったんですよね。で、ところがこのプロデューサーが来た車っていうのが、俗に言うアーメンスチロールってやつでもって、ド派手な車なんですよ。しょっちゅうやられてるって話すからね、あなたの今度から持ってくるからって話す。それで全部撤収が済んで私確認をして、重要なスタッフたちがサインをもらって、じゃあ行こうみんな車帰っちゃったから。で、そのアシスタントが動き回ってる女の子がエンジンかけて、わあ、走り始めたら、ギギギギギギって音がするんですよ。みんな、ああね、ほら、カラスって言ったけど、誰も音しない。それからギー、ギーって言うんですよ。そうこうするうちに、どうやら走れる道が出て、スーッと進み始める。で、ひょいと見たら、そのハンドルの人が泣いてるんですよ。なんだよ、どうしたんだって言ったら、どうしたのさっき、車が乗ったの。車で話してたんじゃないんです。あれが、運転してる時にミラーで見たんですけど、
Why do those look like teeth, like the gouges on the dashboard of the car? Like, they look like some evil crooked teeth.
公的機にあったブランコが誰も乗ってないのに一つだけ揺れてたんです。その音がギーンギーンって言ってたんです。そう、ブランコの音。ね、ああ、僕らも見てるんですよね。公的機にブランコがあったんですよ。で、映像が出来上がって編集段階で見たんですよね。確かにブランコの骨組みがあるけれども、そこ、ブランコがないんですよ。でも僕らみんな見てるんですよね。そこからぶら下がってるブランコってね。でも映像にはないんですよね。おかしな経験でしたよね。
Okay. Yeah, I don't know really what was going on in that story. There was a car, and of course, the name of the story had something to do with swing disappear like that. missing swing. So I guess the swing went missing, or I don't know. But let's go to another story that's hopefully more understandable. It's the psychic map thingy. So let's see. This was some scary Sasasuga station. Yeah. Let's just go there. Report. So, modern horror. It may not be an evil spirit or a demon, but a person right next to you. The station platform, the moment the train comes in. Have you ever imagined yourself being pushed onto the tracks? Yes, so that's why it's good that nowadays many places have, like, a screen blocking you from being pushed onto the tracks. But anyways, who could have imagined that such a nightmarish event would actually happen? Asan, at, at 8 p.m. on November 4th, Asan was on the platform at Sasasuga station with a man she had met at the bicycle racing track. Ooh, hot date at the racing track. So yeah, I guess it's probably she is Asan. Two of them shared the same hobby of bicycle racing and hit it off when they met. An argument broke out over whether or not he should buy drinks with the money he had earned from, I guess, from the track. And two of them became increasingly excited and started fighting. So Asan was knocked down on the platform. Unfortunately, at the time, she was knocked off the platform, I guess. And at that time, a train pulled into Sasasuga station, and Asan's upper body was sticking out from the platform or under the platform or however, and she tried to escape, but the man held her down and she couldn't escape. Wait, that sounds completely nuts. Like they were arguing over paying the drinks, and I wonder which way was it. Like, did the chick say to the guy that, "Hey, you have to pay for my drinks," or was it vice versa? Like the guy said, like I should pay for your drinks. It's like, no, you shouldn't. I'm a modern woman. I'm gonna pay for my own drink. And it's like, oh, you refuse to allow me to pay for your drinks. I'm gonna kill you. I know it's fucked up, but it's fucked up already. So, anyways, how did Miss Ace or Asan see the approaching train? So she was crossed between the train and the platform and died. Yeah, be careful of the gap between the train and the platform. And so, from a trivial trigger to a tragic end, murder. It all happened in the blink of an eye. It must have been very disappointing for Miss A to have passed away in such a way. Okay, if it's just like that, like, oh damn, I happened to die in such a way. Like, oh, it wasn't a truck, so I wasn't isekai. I guess, yeah, okay, if you put it that way, then it is disappointing if you are into isekai stuff. Of course, especially nowadays, it's probably very fashionable among some circles to hate isekai, so maybe It's better to die this way, so you won't get isekai, or at least it's less likely to happen. Anyways, so even if they die, they can't die. So the spirit of A Sun wanders around there. So it's not strange that something like that would happen. So access on by foot, Sasako station on the KO line. KO line. There's like Imperial or like Capital King line. Okay. And the points. So horror is only 2 and atmosphere 1. Sightings 2, curse 3 and total 2. Yeah, it's not that exciting. The horror of the city is opening up close and personal. Okay. So that's it. The platform Suzuka platform. What was it? Okay. Another row done. Let's keep going. I still wanna start from this side. Like I wonder like how most people would they just take them randomly or maybe go like this way and then this way and then this way, but I've been doing this so banally, but I don't know, it just feels right to me. It allows me to have a better idea of how many candles still to um, get rid of. Lost Girl, Saitama Prefecture, Mano Yasuyo, pseudonym. So over 10 years ago, or about 10 years ago, uh, so it's like um from the winter of my first year in junior high school. Uh, so I was late coming home from a committee meeting, so I headed to the entrance to the quiet school building. I was running towards it. And the school building after school has an eerie atmosphere that makes people want to go home early. I think most schools have that atmosphere. If you catch my drift, some what? So I was in a hurry. When I got to the shoe locker, I suddenly noticed a strange girl reflected through the glass. Ew, that's creepy. I wondered who it was, but didn't recognize her. Wow. Ika. Wait, someday? I'm not quite sure what it is. It's very colloquial. Um, I have no doubt that I left. The, so I left their shoe lockers after that. So around the school gate, I realized something. At that time, there were no other geta or like shoes there except mine. So if she was a student at the school, her shoes shouldn't be left behind. I thought no way, and looked back just to be sure. And after all, like there was nobody there. At first, I thought I was seeing my reflection in the glass, but on my home, I realized that was not the case because my hairstyle was different from the girl he saw. It was completely different. Next day, I told my friends about it. Bullshit! You're kidding. It's not an optical illusion. It's different. I saw it clearly, but I could make out the face or some facial features. Oh, creepy. Demo Kiai. No, Demo Sa. Sorry. Then I guess Soda. Then draw a portrait of the girl or a picture. I draw the picture as instructed and showed it to everybody. So who's that? Nobody knew. Um, I think a teacher might know, so I asked to see him to see it, um, but I couldn't find any clues. What? Few months later, months, not months. What am I saying? Third semester drew to a close. So the school is divided into two due to the number of students. So he ended up with a close friend, like he was separated from his close friends. Is it possible? About the student in the portrait, like forget about her, and he also moved to a new school. Okay, so I guess it means really the schools like really just really the student body was split into two different schools. Okay, I thought it meant like the school building was split in two or something, but I guess it's like completely different school. But some other students had to go. So anyway, after a year had passed, the graduation ceremony where we sent off the seniors, and after that we returned home, I guess, or to our homes. That's a telephone. Hello, this is Mano. Mano a Mano.
やつよ。あたし、
Uh, Chunko. Long time no see. I'm doing well.
あんた、1年の時に昇降口で女の子の幽霊を見たって言ってたよね。
It was saying something about a girl, but didn't catch it that well. But it's surprisingly. understandable for this game. So yeah. Uh, so yeah. What about that? What about
出た
it?
のよ、あの似顔絵の女の子が。
She's still saying something about the girl. Eh? Because she's the creepy girl. It was the same day after graduation ceremony that something happened. Another graduation ceremony while there, or like the principal was giving a congratulatory speech at another graduation ceremony the same day. What? What's that? Oh no, so scary. So did the girl appear in the ceremony? Perhaps a human face? Yeah. According to Junko, a human face had appeared on the Japanese flag that was displayed. Okay, so yeah, because I was thinking that the flag was very prominent in the picture. I didn't see it on the flag though. Like, I wonder if there was actually, I wasn't paying attention to that at that moment, if it actually appeared. So it was the student in the portrait. A crying face, I think. At that time, the image of the most people attending the ceremony saw the face reflected on the flag. Needless to say, the graduation ceremony ended in a state of panic. Yeah, that's creepy. So what was that student? Maybe somebody who died in the past in the school and became a ghost, or an illusion or hallucination or something. After that, I did some research but couldn't find anything. I still think of the portrait when I see it. The answer will never be known, but what? But a rectum. Right, let's keep going. So it's from Tokyo. Anonymous broken amulet. It's not broken sword and the shadow of the Templars. I'm a 25-year-old office lady who was born with a constitution that makes me very sensitive to spirits. Uh, anyway, the spirits, the, so like her spirit sense is strong, and she can see things that ordinary people can't. Especially when she was delivering newspapers, I saw scary things every day. Oh, that sounds like fun. A translucent man standing in a phone booth. Church filled with spiritual energy. Ghostly apartment complex. All these spirits in just 3 hours. I've seen them before. I guess I've seen them before within a span of 3 hours. I guess the reason is that my treasure charm broke. So the story begins in winter when I was 5 years old. My home is in the suburbs of Ehime Prefecture until um, so it's like an over 100 years old. It was built. So I guess the home was built over 100 years ago. Okay. The old house as tea room. So something happened in the tea room when the grandmother, sister, and I were there together. And I had a big, some sort of bean snack, like bean candy, basically, or well, whatever you call them. Like in Japan they have some sort of traditional sweets that aren't that sweet compared to most Western sugary stuff that they drink it with or eat it with tea. I guess it's something like that. So it was. She came back with the bean stuff, I guess, and she got too excited and fell down, and she dropped the bag of those sweets. Okay, I was angry at what happened. I picked up some of the snacks and ate them. This time, my grandmother like scolded me for misbehaving. I still picked them all up and ate them. I won't drop them anymore. Uh, uh, no, I guess, or maybe there aren't any more that are uh, dropped. So I wondered if there were any left, and just find one grain next to Nokai. What is that? Uh, found something next to herself, I guess. One thingy, and I took a bite of it and looked inside. Ugh. I still clearly, I can still hear it clearly. I I saw something that was hard to explain. It's not hear it. It's like I remember it clearly. I saw something was in a half-eaten bean. A little black face was moving. Eh. It was also staring at me and looked like it was gonna jump out at any moment. And the southern fear and threw the beans in the brazier. Brazier. Cool animation, man. Is that a head? The beans jumped out of the brazier and was heading towards him or her. So I hid behind my sister, and I guess the sister had no idea what had happened. The burnt beans dodged the sister and came towards me. I was so scared I couldn't bear it and ran out of the room. I ran to my mom, who was in the back. Mom, what is it? You've turned pale. Mother was chewing. Uh, I guess she was sewing something. Mother saw that I was extremely upset and asked me for explanation in a soothing voice. I tried to explain, but I would just break down in tears and couldn't really explain it well. The black beans was chasing me. It seemed to be in front of the room. I don't know. This is like creepy and silly at the same time. I was blocked by a glass door and made a clanging noise. I was a little bit relieved. Oh, I wonder how many. Do they always like use the same screaming sound in this game, or like are there a few different ones? Like I think I've heard that one before, but I don't remember so well. Like are they different? Okay, in the end, those burnt beans, only I could see them. Thinking about it now, other half of the body that I swallowed maybe was following me to find the other half. It almost sounds like some, fairy tale or something, like some old fairy tale. Afterwards, a gingerbread man running and stuff. Afterwards, I cried myself to sleep on my mother's lap and fell asleep. But yeah, if you cry yourself to sleep, you fall asleep usually. I don't remember much after that. Afterwards, my mom told me that I was crying like crazy. Hiroko-san, Chotto, like, please, or a little, some moderation maybe. When I was moved to my room, my grandmother called my mother. It seems they were talking about something. I fell into deep sleep again. Next day, in the morning, my grandmother said to me, "Let's go for a walk," and I was invited out. Just like that, I was taken to a temple. And we arrived at the temple. My grandmother gave me a talisman. She handed it over. From now on, or so since then on, I've always had it. Good. So say it strongly, and she grabbed my hand. When I got home, my mother made me a bag to put the amulet in. And now it's broken. Dun, dun, dun. Since then, I carry the talisman as a protection for me. I carried it with me all the time. However, when I was in junior high school, it broke. Since then, I've seen things that normal people can't see. Seeing ghosts and spirits every day. I'm sure there are some of you out there who would love to see a ghost. In my case, it's not a good thing. Yeah, I think it's like, it would be interesting to see a ghost, but, maybe the implications behind it are not good. Okay, when I was in high school, that caused me to be kicked out of the dorm. So the friends at the school, etc., there wasn't anybody. Let's see this sentence. I'm just wondering, like, whether it means that she was kicked out of the stuff because of her ability to see the ghost, or that there wasn't any. Yeah, it's not clear to me what the actual form of the sentence is, but I guess it's probably she was kicked out of the door because of the ghost stuff causing her trouble. Anyways, now I'm 25 years old. The presence of spirits is familiar, and she doesn't worry about it too much. She started, like, she tries not to worry about it even more than is necessary. So until then, I've been always afraid of something. I think I even distorted my personality. Like, every day was truly painful. If possible, it would be better not to see spirits. It would make me happier. Spirits of drinking some booze. Let's see. Let's see what story we get from Hokkaido. And Snake Wife Onda Harumi, pseudonym. Stories about foxes and so called other Tsukimono, spirits that bring spirits, have long been talked about as common throughout Japan. Spirits that bring spirits. I was wondering about the Tsukimono. That's what my translation stuff says about Tsukimono. Yes, it's still not clear whether this is a mental illness or a spiritual phenomenon. Why not both? And something else too. Harumi couldn't explain it, or also had an inexplicable story, and that she often heard from her mom. And it's a strange story that her mother experienced 30 years ago. Was that Cthulhu? Like some or star spawn? Anyways, her mother was working there at the time. Every June, our company would go on a company trip and go picking lily of the valleys, like flowers. Is lily and lily of the valley, are they a different flower or what? Of course, Harumi's mother was on a trip that year. On the trip, Yokoichi, hey, or Yokoichi, do you know where Yoko went? Ara? Now that I think about it, I haven't seen her in a while. Toilet maybe. Uh, that that kid going there alone. Certainly she'd invite somebody. Yoko, as a girl, was very beautiful with long hair, fair skin, and sad eyes. The character was very gentle and was a shy child who would never walk alone in unfamiliar places. Um, and she would disappear like smoke. Harumi's mother uh, went look into the forest for Yoko with some friends, but no matter how hard they searched, they couldn't find her. Harumi's mother and Chisu had no choice. Just the two friends deep in the forbidden forest decided to go look for Yoko. Uh, the other people, if they don't get back by lunch, they asked to come and find them, and then they went deeply into the forest. I wonder how far we've walked. The road became increasingly rough and thick. Milky white mist began to envelop the area, and the two of them huddled together and walked slowly. And after all, if we all come together, it would be better, right? Yes. Yoga was hard to find. The fog was getting thicker too. Ah, there, Yoko. Found her. Under a big black tree with white mist clinging, uh, with, with white mist clinging to its branches. So she was standing there with her back turned. So of course there's something seriously wrong with her when she turns around. Yoko, Yoko. Two of them hurried to Yoko, tried to run, but for some reason their feet were stuck in the damp ground and couldn't move. Harumi's mother, however, approached Yoko, dragging her along and grabbed her arm, but instinctively let go of it. It was disgusting. Yoko's arms were so cold, it was felt slimy like mucous membrane and didn't seem like a human arm. Ew. Yeah. So Harumi's mother immediately let go of Yoko's hand and looked at the tree in front of her and screamed again. There was a huge snake coiled around it, about 3 meters long. Yoko, run quickly or run away. Harumi's mother ran to Chizuko's place and or where Chizuko. No, it's just Harumi. It's not Chizuko. I know, yeah, Chizuko. Wait, who is Chizuko? Harumi's mom ran to Chizuko and shouted and turned around. I guess it's the other person. I didn't remember the name at all. Anyways, Yoko did not move a single step and disappeared into the thick mist. After a while, the fog cleared as if by magic, and Yoko was there too. And there was the giant snake seemed to have gone somewhere and was no longer there. So they approached Yoko. What's going on, Yoko? Yoko remained silent and just had her head bowed. Two of them understood Yoko's feelings and decided to leave her alone. Considering the scene from earlier, Yoko's attitude was not surprising. But something strange happened. Giant snake and Yoko's hand felt the strange feeling when they touched Yoko's hand. It seemed to be like something from another world. This was something bad starting. Oh no, another season of Rings of Power. Uh, in the end, it was dismissed as just a minor incident in which Yoko almost got lost. But the two other people's heads, in their heads, it would never disappear. I guess the strangeness of the incident. So maybe she was replaced by some shapeshifter doppelganger thingy. And then a few days later, or on the next day rather, everyone went to work as usual, changing the clothes in the locker. No, yeah, Konaide, don't come. Suddenly Yoko was in the back shouted. Maybe she had like some scales or tentacles or who knows what. I'm not going home. Why do you say that? I can't be with you. Go home. Go home. I don't know what they're talking about. Yoko suddenly started making a fuss by herself. I guess she's talking to invisible thingy, spirit demon, something. But something seemed strange. It's like two personalities were inside her. I'm gonna get you. You and I are different. I loved the beautiful you. Oh, yeah, please stop it already. So about 20 minutes had passed when Yoko returned to normal. Like her superior questioned her. However, Yoko just said she had no idea what was going on and there was nothing they could do or something. They continued every day after that. And then 2 weeks had passed. And finally, she followed her boss's advice and went to a mental hospital near the company. She started going there. But no matter what, like what test they took, they didn't found any abnormalities. So Harumi's mom didn't like Yoko and thought she had something to do with the big snake that happened during the hunting of for the flowers or whatever. And they encouraged purification. They visited her house to encourage purification. Yeah, just burn it all down. If a snake has chosen you, then you'll have no choice but to ask the fox to take you away. Okay. Thank you so much for all your trouble. There's no need to worry anymore. I'll come and purify you properly. Please don't worry. So Yoko's mother gave a curt reply and sent Harumi's mother away. So it's like some, battle with mothers. Without much purification, please. Um, they would pray enthusiastically. Or they believed that they should pray enthusiastically or something like that. And the important thing was that Yoko was normally cheerful, but the cheerfulness had disappeared and she was getting thinner and thinner. Paint thinner. After a month, it started to affect other employees, and she was forced to quit the job. One day, worried, Chizuka and Harumi's mother decided to visit Yoko's house again. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Snake. This is King Hiss from He-Man, like the Snake Mountain and all those. And my mom came out of the house and something wasn't quite right. The face was pale and cheeks were hollow and the eyes were slanted. Hey, that's racist. Well, or rather, like, of course they were slanted, they're Japanese. What's more, she was wearing white robes. So yeah, Yoko, who came from the house, she was weird and wearing white robes and looking like a snake, at least in the picture. A bunch of snakes. So yes, what can I do for you? We wanna know Yoko's condition. Please, please come on up. Saying this, the mother went inside the house, but what was creepy that she started hopping down the hallway with both feet together. And feels like those, traditional Asian zombie vampires. I'm not sure what the Japanese name is for them. His movements were just like those of a fox. Do foxes jump with both legs together? folks. Two of them were scared and ran out of the house trying to escape. Then, and I never went to Yoko's house again, or those those two. I don't know. Nobody went there ever. Burned it down. Exercised everything. Exterminatus. Shortly thereafter, Yoko passed away. Her mother was also committed to a psychiatric hospital. Okay, this is getting sort of Lovecraftian. Yoko was noticed by the snake. Was she killed? Harumi's mother is. Uh, so, like, Harumi's mother was wondering, I guess, what would have happened if it had been her instead of Yoko that the snake fell in love with or something. And she always says it gives her the creeps. I always tell the story when acquaintances come over. So it's always lifting the ice a bit. Guess makes me. Oh, I guess it's like a coffee table discussion. It's a bit heavier and stranger than your usual crap. Maybe I'll do one more story today. Or maybe if this is like super short, okay, this is more psychic map stuff. Then let's see. Let's just do this and worry about the future later. Hotel New Japan. Sure. Welcome to the Hotel New Japan. It's just a lovely place. Report. People desperately calling for help from the raging flames. Um, People dripping notes from windows, licking with flames, trying to escape on their own. No, it's not notes, it's sheets. People hanging sheets from the windows and trying to escape the flames. Hellish image bursting into our peaceful home shocked us all. 1982, the February 8th. I guess it would be interesting to Google or Wikipedia or whatever, do an internet search on some of these places. Like, did this? I assume this hotel actually existed, and this fire that apparently happened there happened too. So, located in Akasaka Hotel, New Japan. The flames that erupted from a guest room on the ninth floor quickly engulfed the ninth and 10th floors in flames. So 33 people died. What a Masonic number. Interesting. 28 injuries. And even now, more than 10 years later, it still stands quietly with traces of the tragic event still visible. I doubt it now, like 40 years later. I wonder if it still stands. Probably not. During the day, the area is crowded with businessmen and office ladies. But when it gets night, it's a lively place as it is close to the downtown area. In contrast to the hustle and bustle, the hotel is strangely quiet. Or what? It doesn't mean that actually the hotel still existed, that it didn't completely burn down. It's just a few floors or something. Maybe that's why numerous spiritual phenomena have been witnessed here. Nakata, who lives in Akasaka, is one of them. He was walking past the hotel in business and heard something that sounded like a human groan. When he looked towards the building, he saw a figure waving for help from a fifth floor window. Go to the window. He said he would never go near this hotel again. Others, I've heard of many cases of ghost photos being taken. Probably like they are people looking for help from those who come there. Clearly, a man-made disaster with resentment of the tragedy. The hotel is still um, it stands in a state of disrepair. Okay, so yeah, they don't it doesn't function as a hotel. It's just the building was still up back in the 90s at least. Access by car, National Route 246 towards Shibuya. From there, turn right at Akasaka Mitsuke and go 300 meters left on Sotoboridori Street. Sotobori, it's not Dotonbori. By a foot, minute from Akasaka Mitsuke subway station. Well, that's close. Well, I guess if it's a hotel, it makes sense to build it in a place like that. Okay, points. Horror 3, atmosphere 4, and sightings 4, curse 3, and overall 4. Total 4. It's not total war, it's total 4. Even during the day, this corner is quiet and reminding people of the scars of the tragedy. Another candle going out. Guess I should do one more still. One more candle. Let's go once more onto the breach. So this is well, this Miyagi Prefecture, MG-san, spirits living at crossroads. This is starting to sound like Black Book, the game I streamed a few months ago, because it had magic and crossroads and stuff. I'm everywhere. No, that's not it. I'm just an ordinary high school girl. Is it ordinary high school girl or ordinary high school girl? There's a big difference. Or is there? Although I may seem like an ordinary person, I have actually had some strange experiences. That's what I'll be talking about today. Okay, it sounds a bit more upbeat than your regular, like recent stories, but we'll see. That was when I was cycling near my house. It happened while I was running. It was past 7 p.m., so it was getting dark. I pedaled to get home quickly and pushed hard. As I turned into the alley that faced my house, I saw someone standing in the distance. Am I gonna meet somebody? Or are they? No, are they meeting somebody there? I guess. As the distance gradually got closer, I found out it was a woman. But but there was something strange about it. Strange feeling. No, a red woman. Fast red woman. I saw that person as we passed each other. I saw it clearly. A woman standing there blankly. You may not believe it, but there was orange light, like she was glowing with orange light. Well, that was Donald Trump's mother, clearly. Had to be. Like, I know, don't, if this happened in the 80s or something, Trump was already like, you know, in his 30s, I guess. But, Trump is a time traveler, so his mom probably is too. That explains it all. Orange. Anyways, I felt suspicious and stopped my bike and saw the woman once again. Then the person, she also stared intently at me. That ice cold gaze hates me. No, she's resented. It's like she resented me. Like normal people, would just leave the place quickly, but strangely, my body couldn't move, and like just was focused or couldn't focus their gaze. Why did this happen to me? Why did it? I haven't done anything wrong. Helplessly in indescribable fear, I was enveloped in indescribable fear. For a few minutes, the woman and I were staring at each other. Suddenly, the woman disappeared without any sound. At the same time, finally, the body was moving, working. Few days later, I was there after 11 p.m. and suddenly felt like I wanted to drink some juice, so I went out to buy some. It happened on the way back, like on the way back home. Next to my house, there's a house that used to be a coffee shop. So in between that house and mine, can person ends. Can a person fit through the gap between the houses, I guess? Is the path I always take. The gap was kind of creepy, and I tried not to look at the gap. But that day, for some reason, like something about the gap bothered me or like made me pay attention. I was trying not to look at it in that gap, and but now I shifted my gaze towards it, I guess. Yeah, what's this creepy guy? I'm selling these fine leather jackets. There was a strange man sitting there. Yeah, it was weird. There was no light there, it was pitch black. But for some reason, you could see the expression on the man's face. Was glaring with me with a cat-like glare. The expression. Could it be a ghost? I thought. And that day, it's just a. It was just a weirdo or a pervert. I tried to tell myself and hurried home. I don't know. Maybe it's like I'm not sure if this is a female or a male, but like if you're a female alone out at night and you see, I'd rather see a ghost than a pervert lurking in the dark. Next day, as expected, I started to feel thirsty around 11 o'clock. I went out to buy some juice. Okay, this person deserves whatever has happened to them. Like if they like know that they will start to feel thirsty around that time, maybe they can buy some juice and put it in their fridge, and then drink it so they don't always have to go out during the into the creepy streets. Like, come on, man. So yesterday's stuff, I was worried about what happened yesterday, but I thought today would be okay. Of course, it won't be because you're dumb. Of course, the strange man. There was the strange man. I tried not to see, tried not to look at the gap. Then quickly, I bought some juice and wanted to go back to my house, and I started running. Oh no, footsteps! The sound of footsteps from behind. I could hear sound of footsteps. Apparently, someone was following. It's like it seems like somebody was following me. I got scared, and for a while, I kept running and running away. But if you think about it calmly, it's not surprising that you hear footsteps behind you. I stopped in my tracks and prepared myself and turned towards the sound. Yeah. Okay, it sounds like a retarded cat. I saw the source of the sound yesterday was the man. The creepy man. I started running again to get away from the man. This is like I get Twin Peaks vibes from this, like Bob from Twin Peaks. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen Twin Peaks, you probably do. Otherwise, you don't. No spoilers. However, against my will, my legs wouldn't move the way I wanted them to. Then I realized something. Apparently, the footsteps I had heard were, it seems they were just an illusion. The man approached, sliding across the ground. Ugh, okay, it's getting even more creepy. I was convinced. It's sort of like a little trouble in Big China, or is there other way around? Yep, but it's a ghost after all. The thought made me even more fear course through my body. I was supposed to take. It was supposed to take about a minute to get home. How many minutes have I been running already? Yeah, see, maybe you should have just had juice in your fridge. If it's predictable that you will get thirsty at that time. When I finally got home, I was so scared and confused with relief that I couldn't stop crying. My mom was worried about me, but I just kept crying. Woohoo, woohoo. But why should I have to go through such a horrible experience? After that, the Shining Woman. Uh, I haven't seen the Shining Woman or the Male Ghost after that. But this happened on a road I always take, so the thought of something like this happening again makes me very anxious. Alright, I guess like some part of me still wants to do another story, but it's sort of like no, I guess I should start to get ready to go to sleep and stuff. So yeah, okay, but yeah, there were some quite dark stories today, which is interesting, I guess. But I'm Adventure Argonaut. I thank you for watching and bye bye. Guess I'll get back to this game on Monday.